Islam, Street New Buffalo-Bay. Islam, I'm Ron Arrington-Bey, your wife. Islam, I'm Moorish American Nation and Family. It is January the 19th, 2022, and I'm about to, it's approximately 7:12 or 15. What I'm about to do is meditate or deep breathe, and I'm going to demonstrate how I deep breathe. Let me see if I can get the camera. Okay. I might need to, turn the light on. Imani and I, we do this in the mornings, a lot of times in the mornings. So, hold on one moment. I usually like the lights dim, but because, let's see, hold on. That's okay. Because I'm trying to demonstrate, I will not, hold on. I don't mean to, what's the word? Show that nice thick thigh. Some might say fat. Nonetheless, this is what happened when you eat a lot of oil and you don't exercise. Because I didn't, for a long, long time, I didn't. I was so excited about the vegan vegetarian food. I'm not vegetarian, actually. It's all vegan, plant based. I still say vegetarian because I know I'm still not reading the labels like I should, but my body tells me if something's in there that's foreign, so that I shouldn't be eating. So that's why I say that. But most of the stuff I eat, it says vegan. I don't think almost everything. Uh, the only thing we'll leave out is organic ranch, organic Thousand Island. We buy organic, but then it could be it could have something in it. So it could have some egg. I'm gonna look and see. We were making our own salad dressing, but what happened? They stopped selling the huge jars of vegan eggs, so we would make our own salad dressing with organic ketchup. The ketchup, was like we checked it; it was okay. Mix it with the vegan eggs, and that was our salad dressing. But they stopped selling the big thing of it. It was this huge bottle or container of vegan eggs at Whole Foods. They might have it at Giant. I don't know, but yeah. So the next step, we're gonna have to go back to that. But I think that's the only thing. I think everything else is pretty vegan and plant based. Except sometimes I don't buy organic vegetables, okay, or organic fruit. So, but still, I'm gonna stay vegetarian until I'm able to grow my own food. Islam. So anyway, this is how we deep breathe early in the morning. Islam, real quick. Not real quick. I a lot of times, I burn my incense. And we burn the incense all day because a lot of unclean spirits in Annapolis. I'm not saying they're not everywhere because I think they are. But and they constantly trying to invade the body sheath or invading the body sheath. So incense are important. I give testimony about hearing African American, Black, Negro, male, and female accents around the room, saying "brother, I love you," "she love your son," "we paid money," and so forth. So and also Spanish speaking accents. I don't. It's so odd because I have never ever dealt with anyone that speaks Spanish from that exists from say they existed in Mexico or existed in South and Central America, so forth, or anyone that speaks Spanish from the islands. Never really dealt with them on any form or on level. I come to Annapolis, and you would think that they have been in my circle all my life, but I haven't. They just started force engaging, literally force engaging. But then I realized when I started to have forced dreams, and they were that they were trying to literally penetrate my mind. Because that's why a lot of times I would start, some of them would start talking. I feel four sharp pains in the back of my head where my medulla, my obligata medulla is, right back here. And a lot of occultists and other spiritual people say this is where your Akashic records are. So and so these unclean spirits and the pale skin, a lot of times the pale skins are accents around them. I'm saying Burger King, and so forth. I might hear a pale skin song that I used to listen to. I still listen to. I listen to a variety of music. I grew up around pale skins and R&B, jazz, blues, reggae. I grew up. I was exposed to all types of music in that many cultures. So and I was fortunate so to be among that. So sometimes pale skins, when they're trying to force engage and bring my thoughts back to before I changed, and I expanded my to my highest self. When in my highest self, my consciousness changed when and I thought better, and so therefore I was into what connects more to the divine in me and the divine that's external, and it did not include them. It did not include me laying down with a pale skinned male, um, having sex with pale skinned males, encouraging interracial relationships. It just did not. That is just not in my Akashic records. And so that and that has actually that has been excluded from my thoughts since my late teens. But definitely my late teens, as in 17, or I should say 18, 19, just totally excluded. It's like but nonetheless, when you're dealing with unclean spirits that can invade your mind and pull back how you used to behave, that was unclean, animal like, because they want you to be on that level. They want you to come down. You know, that's what they'll try to pull up anything that they can to try, as in your thoughts, to try to um, normalize their presence in your life, because the frequency of the earth is rising, and as divine energies we're rising, our frequency is rising, and that goes along with knowing who we are and being conscious of who we are and conscious of who we have children with, conscious of our ancient ancestral lines, because the frequency is in our ancestral lines, Islam. So these unclean spirits that are on lower realm, they know this, and so they cannot exist on a high frequency high frequency of natural law, Islam. So anyway, getting back, so I hear these I know unclean spirits are constantly trying to invade the space here. So this is why I burn incense, um and we deep breathe, we say Quranic chants, we do a lot of spiritual um, I want to say spiritual behavior things, a lot of spiritual um, when you're doing something, activities. So anyway, and it feels great. Okay, so let me go ahead and start deep breathing. Okay, so anyway, deep breathing. I am Islam. So anyway, just let me just make a long story short. Just yesterday, I was at Whole Foods. Okay, it's January 19, 2022. Yesterday, I was at Whole Foods after work. And I have, I am thankful to be, this is my claim of disease and virus free Islam. At Whole Foods, I was feeling the energy of Sheikh Dwayne Baphomet of you, and so I didn't know if it was a true energy or not. But all of a sudden, this pale skinned lady came and sat next to me. I think she was pale skinned. And I felt this presence, totally over all my sheath of my body, and like a dull pain. Then itching started to happen on my genitals, and I heard black Negro accent male saying itch, scratch, 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 like trying to demonstrate like there's some form of irritation on my genitals. So what had happened is, what was going on is an unclean spirit had forced, probably I think it was a few of them had covered my sheath, and they form a itching sensation, because as I was walking, in my thoughts I was thinking, well, I shaved yesterday, so but let me tell you, as I was walking back to because it started at Whole Foods around 5 p.m. after I got off from earning money at Burger King. I uploaded videos as I was walking back to extended stay. As soon as I walked into the door, because I was hearing accents as I was walking, black Negro male accents and Spanish speaking. And I already gave testimony how I know that those that speak Spanish can engage to cause you to itch. I used to see them. Some of them would come into Burger King scratching and licking at me. So I definitely they were. I thought what I was seeing was a spirit unclean demonstrating, we're going to make you itch, because if you scratch and break your body sheath, Islam, you scratch and you harming your body sheath, or not your body sheath, but your body, which is the largest organ on that you have. You can cause an infection, which a scar can occur. Okay, which when you're dealing with unclean virus and disease filled spirits, they say come down. They don't want you to feel too beautiful. They don't want you to feel too divine or be too divine, be too beautiful, because they want you to breed with one of their filthy, unclean spirits. So if you think you too good to be with one of their filth that's on a lower realm, then they keep saying come down. So they'll do different methods of attacks to try to bring your consciousness, your behavior, thoughts, whatever, which is connected to your consciousness, behavior, um, your energy down, so that they can force engage, because they know that they are nothing like you, and they cannot raise their frequency. Islam. So as soon as I walked in the extended stay, the itching stopped. As soon as I walked inside extended stay, the itching stopped. I didn't feel no itching sensation while I was sleeping, anything. So, and then once again, I knew I was being invaded by unclean spirits. So I'm demonstrating how they can invade your sheath. All right. So if they can make you itch, maybe even cut a part of your skin, they definitely can cause sickness in different ways, virus, diseases, and so forth. So you have to protect yourself. And Imani and I, we're still taking our herbs. So my spirit tells me that I am virus and disease free. Islam. And we as Moorish American women and men, we as Moorish American women, we have to relearn how to protect our Moorish men, our Moorish sons, our Moorish daughters from these unclean, filthy spirits that are unnatural. The African American, that's unnatural, filthy, and unclean. Those that speak Spanish, the pale skin, and so forth. The unnatural, unclean spirits exist all over different bodies. So. time nostrils get clogged up a little bit. So what I'm doing is breathing 3 times in each nostril. I do this, I've been doing 3 times in each nostril for extremely long time. The number 3 for us as Moors, MU''UR, as for us as Moors, as celestial beings, naturalized celestial beings, natural beings. All numbers are sacred and divine. And um, so the number 3 is a very divine number. For us as naturalized celestial beings, Moorish Americans. I am a Moorish American, Islam. Once again, it is January the 19th, 2022. And okay, it's 8 o'clock a.m. I'm going to have to leave. I'm stopping a few moments. So I'm going on 8 a.m. So what I'm going to do is I'll finish up and then, well, actually, I probably need to stop. It's 8. I didn't realize it was 8. So let me stretch. So now I'm stretching. So this is what I do. Imani does too in the morning. Not every morning. We try to. Almost every morning. Some mornings, so he forgets. Or not forgets, he's rushing. And some mornings I'm rushing. But this is what we do a lot of mornings. And I also, he says he still meditates or deep breathes at work on his break. And I do too. Not every break. But when I think about it, and it's like, okay, this is a good time to do it, I'll do it. But what we really try to do is do it before we leave Islam. So now I'm stretching. Mental health is important, especially in reference to fortifying yourself against diseases and viruses. Okay, so I asked the question, what are viruses more susceptible to? Okay, some scientists say viruses and diseases are susceptible to animals, are more susceptible to animals than they are to those of a human or being human. But if you mixing DNA and manipulating DNA, and you manipulate DNA with animal DNA, human DNA with animal DNA, Islam. So that makes so it changes a lot. And I know, so as I've given testimony before, we are among those that actually think they're werewolves, or they say werewolf as though they are a werewolf that speak Spanish. Hearing people say Birdman, the Birdman wants you, the Birdman loves you. African American males and females saying brother like animals, not all, but too many of them saying the word brother is an animal. So, and we are among artificial intelligence, humanoid robots that can control technology. So, mental health is important. It helps you fortify yourself from viruses and diseases, your body sheath. And that is connected to spirituality, Islam. Because all these spirits, all these beings, manipulation of DNA is spirit. These are spirits that are being created, that are being mixed up in. So this also connects to why citizens in Annapolis was speaking about how Annapolis have a high rate of venereal disease. Well, if you have people being possessed mentally, transformed, and then they laying down and having sex with animals, or that which is manipulated DNA, human animals, then that's how venereal diseases are spread easily. And not only here, all over Islam. Because they are performing acts of bestiality. They're sleeping with beasts, beasts sleeping with beasts, animals sleeping with animals. So now I'm going to do both legs. And I'm at extended stay. Use that thought. I'm at extended stay America, 120 Admiral Cochran Drive, room 116, Annapolis, Maryland. And that goes also in reference to the invasion of dreams, unclean spirits trying to have sex, get your genitals to have an orgasm. Because see, if they can get you to do that, if they can do that and you enjoy it, these are animals. They beasts. They they develop some form of engagement through your thoughts, and they'll keep saying it over and over again as though they did something romantic in your life, and then they start developing a form of stalking, harassment, and but you cannot demonstrate and prove a dream unless you have the telepathic code or others have the telepathic code that can see Islam, or some form of advanced consciousness that can see what's going on. But if you're in court, Islam, and you trying to press charges against rape, you're going to say, well, this male raped me in my dream. You know, the judge is going to look at you like you crazy and be like, can you prove this? Okay? But when they become so animal where they start demonstrating their behavior on the physical plane, harassment, that's what you can prove, Islam. So that's usually what goes on. So what goes on is these unclean animal beast spirits start rape or try to rape or actually rape, not and then molest, and they realize that's not working. Because you still, as if you are true in your thoughts and your divinity, and you uphold your covenant of the Most High, okay, as a naturalized celestial being, you would never lay down with an animal or beast or or an unclean spirit, whether it's African American, which too many of them are, pale skin or Spanish speaking, or whatever they may exist or come in what bodies form. You would never do it. But so, and they realize that. So what you have is in time, when they start behaving in a harassing manner, it's because they've been stalking all that time, and they bring it to the physical plane. Okay, this is where many people nowadays are purchasing arms, guns. So they say the amendment, they're using their amendment rights, Amendment 2, and they said citizens are purchasing guns at an alarming rate, firearms, because they know what's going on. I think many of them know what's going on, and they're preparing for protection. They got to protect themselves from these unclean spirits that stalk in different manners, whether they're leaving feathers on the ground, invading your mental space, whatever they may be. Because once again, after a while, they'll start doing things on the physical plane. Like for me, I experienced the feathers, seeing spit on the ground, hearing them saying brother and so forth, Islam. And then in time, they start getting even more aggressive, where I have to call the police. And so the person that actually you call the police on might not be that which is really stalking you. In my case, I think it's someone that's connected to the unnaturalized military, police. That's in my case. I don't think it's the Joe that I have to call the police on. I think they're being used. Okay, because the military, if you connect the dots too much with that, that's huge. All right, Islam. So that's my case, unnaturalized military. And so I'm not. So once again, I can't say everyone that at odd is stalking me, no such people, but I can definitely give testimony and show a sequence, and then as time, let the proof unfold, let truth unfold. I say truth unfold. Is I'm gonna go ahead and go, cause I gotta get ready to earn money today at Burger King.